Hi, welcome to, I haven't filmed in a long time. I haven't made a video in a long time, and I want to get back into it. I want to show you a little bit more. Look, it's my new side shave. I love my new haircut. And this is my new sweater, and this is what the video will be about. Making another version of this one. Someone asked for pattern, and I don't have a pattern because I improvised the whole thing, but I would like to take you through my process of improvising on a sweater like this, how I do this. First of all, it's made of all scrap yarn and a bit of reclaimed yarn from unraveled sweaters. I'm currently working on unraveling this one, and here's the rest of it. Because I really love this yarn, but I did not love the sweater. Hi, kitty cat. Oh, and I already have one ball of it. This one, the purple, is reclaimed sweater, and this Bordeaux, what's it called in English? This color. And I also added, oh, it's droopy. I used 2 balls of yarn specifically, these two, to make it cohesive through the whole sweater. So I used those as a base, and then I filled it up with scrap yarn from which I pulled from this bag. Just blind pull and see what comes out. So I already started on my next sweater, but I'll insert a little video of the first chain and what to do. Hi, excuse the hair-filled skirt, but we're gonna start with a chain, well, a slip stitch, slip knot, and a chain of 4. Two, 3, 4. Then we're gonna do a double crochet in the first stitch. There we go. We're gonna chain 3, turn our work, and double crochet into the chain space thing. Then we're gonna chain 3 again, turn our work, double crochet into the chain. And that's how we continue until the starting chain is the length we desire. When you've reached the length you would like, you chain 3, then you double crochet into the chain space. Well, you double crochet twice in each chain space. Repeat for every chain space, of course, until you reach the end, and then you have made your first 2 rows of your sweater. Last stitch. There we go. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? Okay, continue with the video. Anyways, once you make that, you check if it's about the size you want it. I always start in the middle of my sweater. For some reason, I like this, and if I want it longer, then I'll add afterwards. So I start at this line. I measure if it fits around over my boobs, and then I'll start crocheting up until the shoulders, and then I'll leave a gap for the neck and crochet down back, and then crochet on the sides. And I'll take you through the process right now and show you the steps. My phone keeps drooping. So let me show you the start for the next one that I made. This is where I am so far, thus far. It's like that. I made it a little tighter than last time. It's because it'll stretch when you make it. And the extra colors I'm using through the whole thing is the reclaimed yarn from that sweater, the reclaimed yarn from this sweater, and oh, this is not the blue I used in this sweater. This is a duller version. This is the blue. See, this is a darker, duller version. But this one I plan to use on this sweater. And I also have some fluffy yarn in this color, and I have some fluffy beige yarn. Don't know where it is. I think it's over there, which I want to use in this sweater because that's how you get the lovely poofy sleeves. If you use yarn that's thicker than the others, then it will do the which I like, this wrinkle. I don't know how to explain it. You get it, right? You get it? So yeah, I'll check in when I'm reached the shoulder bits, I think. Bye! I forgot to tell you a few things. This is, I don't know what size yarn you would call this in English, but I use a hook size 5, and this is made by the just half double crochets. On the corners I switch between one with a gap and one closed, so when I do the gap I chain 4, skip 1 and do half double, chain 1, skip 1, half double. That's the rhythm for the open versions, and the closed versions is just half double crochet in every stitch. And since it's always on the closed parts, I do 1 half double crochet on the chain and 1 half double crochet on top of the other half double crochet, so it stays, so I don't wobble on the sides, so it stays the same the whole way. Yeah, so let's continue. I already tied on the next yarn. It's this one. It's a color changing yarn, so I think I might just use up this whole thing, but I kind of want to add a wonky, thicker yarn in between. So I'm considering cutting this off and first adding the thick, this one, just for a bit more contrast. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I don't wanna, I want a thicker yarn right now after this row. So also, my cat is here. This is Bailey. Hi Bailey. Say hi to the camera. No. Also, this is how I tie on the next yarn. Let me just quickly take this one off. Okay. Here's how I do it. I just take the next yarn, which of course I do. And I just make a knot like this. Wrap it around my finger. Pull it through. And just hold the edge and then pull it all the way to the end. And then you have quite a small knot, and it kind of disappears in the sweater, especially when it's as colorful as this. It's not the cleanest color change, but I like it because you don't really see the knots on the sweater, and I just tie it on the end because I don't mind if the color change happens in the middle of the sweater. I think actually that's kind of fun. Don't know if you can see an example. Yeah, right over here and right over here. I think I like that. I have reached the end of the row. So now the turning point. It's also good to know that some of the extremely bulky yarns, like this ones, you should use the open space rows only, because it will be too bulky to fit a closed row. But this yarn, even though it's bulkier than the rest, it does work with the closed row. And you just saw my cat go up his little bed, his little cat bed. Yeah, he's adorable. And there's my other cat. He is also cute. I think I might switch to the other bulky yarn to get a little more color in there. Oh, look. Now I'm encountering a knot, and I can just crochet over it, tuck it to the back, or maybe this side will be the back. And you don't really notice it. I mean, you can see it, but it's not that noticeable. This would be a nice thumbnail. I think I'm going to utilize this knot that's already there and cut this knot off and go for my new yarn. Where did I put my scissors? Oh, I put it where it belongs. That's when I lose stuff. Okay. So, new yarn. Maybe first the blue? Yeah, first the blue. Get a pop of color in there, and then we're gonna do this reclaimed yarn. Speaking of that, I need to unravel the rest. I mean, it's just this bit, and then I can ball it up. So I'm gonna tie on this yarn, and then I'm gonna ball that up, finish that and ball it up, and then I'm gonna finish continue crocheting. I really hope I can get to the shoulder bit before it gets too dark to film. Although I realized I don't really care whether someone has good lighting when they're filming. If the stuff is interesting enough, I'll keep watching even though the lighting is bad. Even though it's evening or stuff like that. So maybe I should just continue and hope that my video, my content is interesting enough to watch through the bad lighting. Because then I can keep filming in the evenings, because I'm way more active in the evenings. I have ADHD and waking up in the morning is hard. So, and I am very active at night. So my sleep schedule is a bit delayed. I go to bed around 11. Also, I need a lot of sleep. And I sleep until about 10 the next day, and I get up around 11. And by the time I ate breakfast, got going and everything, by the time I'm ready to film, because that's also quite a mental excursion for me, it's 4-ish in the afternoon. And I had this problem especially in the winter where it got dark around 5. So I had literally 1 hour to film. And by the time I was set up to go start filming, it was starting to get too dark and I would get discouraged and I would stop. So I have a lot of started videos from this winter, but I didn't get to finishing them because I tried to film them in good lighting. Anyways, we're throwing that out of the window now and we're just making this one. I'm sorry for yapping so much. I'll end the yapping now. I'm already almost to the point where I would switch the yarn. I was thinking end of this row. And since it's an open row, it's even faster. I'm already halfway. Maybe about how much I like this sweater and how happy I am that I made a sweater. And that I was kind of in the mindset of, I don't care if it's ugly. I love these colors and I love these colors together, and I'm just making it with all the colors because I have seen several pictures and videos of people making sweaters and wearing sweaters that I really liked, and they were all so colorful. Here they are. A Pinterest picture and one from Jada, aka Miss Moon in Heaven. I also bought her sweater book. I haven't gotten into it far because my brain. But improvising a sweater like this is easy enough and I can do that. So I just decided to improvise and make my own sweater and see how it goes. And this is how it went. I am very happy with it. And I'm almost at the end of the row. I think I'm gonna cross over to the next row a little bit. Just around here or something. And then switch the yarn. Right, I also want to use this yarn. This is also very bulky. I can really only use this for open rows. I think I used it on this sweater once. Yeah, over here. It is very bulky. It is very thick, but I really like it. And I have a whole bag of it. Picked them up at the thrift shop for €3. And it's quite a big bag. They're like let's see, 5, 6 big balls. I'll put one over here to remind myself. Okay, time to switch yarns. Maybe I shouldn't switch just yet. Maybe I should first finish balling this and then switch to that one. Okay, so I am gonna cut the yarn just so it's not connected to a ball and starts unraveling. I'm going to put this one away and I'm gonna finish unraveling this first. I'll show you a better picture of it. It's quite sticky because it has thick, thin parts, you know. This is really unraveled and this is really tight. The whole yarn is like that. I'll just get my cat. Here you go. So when I unravel it, it quite often gets stuck like this, and I'll have to cut the bits that are really stuck. Then it'll go well, but whenever it's the not tightly wound bits, I don't know what you call that. It's a bit pilled and sticking to the next rows. But it's fine. I tested it on this sweater. Let's see, there's also a bit of, over here is a row in this color. You can't really see it below the fluffy parts. Oh, it's also over here. It's so fun to see all the yarns I have being used in my sweater. It's so fun to be able to point them out like that. Okay, time lapse. I'm sorry you had to witness that absolute train wreck, but trust me, it was way worse for me. Because for you it only took 1 minute, for me it was 20 minutes. So pro tip, if you have a mountain of yarn, don't just pick it up and move it, even though it seems fine. It will make a tangled mess. But here it is. Now we can continue. Okay, I have reached a point where I think it's high enough to fit on my chest and to go up to my neck. So now I'm gonna work up this piece. In this one I just made a boat neck, but I don't really like the look of it, so I'm going to do the triangle thing to make an actual neck hole. The way I'm doing that is putting it up to myself, deciding how wide I want the bottom of my neck hole to be. I know it's probably a better word, but I don't know. It's about this wide I want the bottom to be. So I count those stitches. 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's a good number. Then I am picking the middle one, that's over here. And I take the half, that's 8. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Means I'm going to crochet up till here. And I'll put a stitch marker in that. So I'm just going to continue as normal up until the stitch marker. And then instead of continuing on, we're going to turn and decrease 1 and then go the way back. What I'm probably going to do to make sure that the middle stitch that I just picked out is actually in the middle, is count how many holes, how many stitches I'm doing now when I make the other side, and just make the same number of stitches on the other side, just to make sure it's actually even, because now it's sort of even, but I don't like to do more work than necessary, and this is the way I can do the least amount of work. Okay, so I'm reaching the end of the row. Let's see, one more stitch. This is the last one. So instead of doing a chain double crochet, I'm skipping the chain and I'm just doing a double crochet. That way, when I go back up, there's no chain space there, meaning I have just decreased one. I'm going to decrease another one by also skipping the first double crochet. Let me do that for you. And just going into the next chain space, because this is a closed row. And that's how that looks. Now I'm going to continue normally, just double crochet on top of every double crochet and in every chain space. And I'm going to switch color, because I don't want the whole shoulder to be purple. And this is what this looks like. See, it's starting to form the neck hole. Let's see, we're gonna grab in my bag and grab a random color. Ooh, that's a fun color. Yeah, it's not really fun, but it's a different color than I have used so far. So, cut the yarn, tie the yarn, ball up this yarn, secure it, and put it back into the bag instead of just leaving it on the sofa and making a mess, which I usually do. And continue. On the next row, we are just gonna turn as I usually do. I'm a bit faster with my explanation than my crochet, so let's just catch up real quick. And there we go. For the turn, as usual, chain 4, turn, skip the first and go in the one on top of the other half double crochet. And now we're gonna go almost to the end. We're gonna do the same as the last round. We're gonna skip the chain. Yeah, we're just gonna repeat what we did last time. Okay, just a little bit more. This is what I did. I skipped the chain and I went directly into the last crochet, and now we're gonna do chain 2, turn, skip the last double crochet and just continue normally from there. So yeah, it's still like the last round, and it looks way smaller, and it is way smaller because the yarn is so much thinner. And I'm actually gonna change yarns again because I don't want this to be suddenly, because the stripes below are at most 3 stripes thick, and I don't suddenly want this to be way more. I'm gonna continue a little longer. I'll go to the end of the row and then I'll cut the yarn. And then I'll grab into my bag for a random yarn again, or no, I think I'm gonna do this color. That would balance it nicely, I think. Yes. Yes, good. So I'm gonna do that now. Cut the yarn, put the yarn away. On a sleeve or body, I might have finished this whole bowl. Bringing out this guy. And continue. Oh, by the way, at the end of these rows, you need to do 2 in this chain space, because technically this is a double crochet and you need to do 1 on top of that. So I just do 2 in the chain space. See? My bowl is on the floor. Okay. And I think I'm almost there. I don't want the neck hole to be gigantic. I think I'm there. I think I'm going up for 2 rows. The curve is done. I'm going up for 2 rows, and then I'll decide if I need to go up another row. And I'll see you when I have reached a point that my neck hole is wide enough. All right. It is later. I had dinner. It was good. And this is where I'm at with the sweater. See, it's half a neck hole. The only note I have right now, I'm also added a stitch on this row and on the 2 last rows. I went straight up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Oh, this is not an up. Yeah, this is an up. No, 4 rows, and then with 2 rows I added a stitch to the last row. I ended the row on this side, which is important because we're gonna make this side and then we're gonna end on that end as well, and then cross to the other side. Okay. So now we're going to attach the yarn to this end and repeat this in reverse on the other side, mirrored on the other side. And I guess I'll check back in when that's done. Okay, I have finished the second half of the neck hole. It looks a bit wonky because I used a really thin yarn here and a really thick yarn here, but it'll get sorted out when we add the trim. What we're gonna do now is make another row because we ended on the outside, just like on that one. So, all right. What we're gonna do now, we made that row, is we added 2 stitches here. So I'm gonna count these stitches. I'm gonna retract these stitches and add these, if you can still follow. So this is 2, 4, 8, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 stitches. It's 19 plus 10, so it's 29, not 11. See? And now it's correct. And now we're gonna double crochet in every space and chain space and on top of every double crochet until we get to the chain, and then we're gonna double crochet in every chain. I hate crocheting into chains, but this is the easiest way to do it. I could also crochet around the chain. That is also fine, but then you have to count your stitches more. But it's fine to crochet around the chain if you prefer, because in the end we're gonna add ribbing anyway, so. Okay, this is gonna be boring and my battery is almost empty, so I'm just gonna tell you now. We're gonna finish this in the chain, and after that just continue the rows as usual and as long as you want it on your back. The length you need is, if you put this over your head, where this end and that end will connect under your armpits. That's how long it needs to be. And in a spacing the way you like it. Hello, I have reached the point to connect the arms. So I'm gonna take my sweater off and show you how that works. I have the neck hole on, and as you can see, it's reaching on the other side, but it's stretchy, so it'll stretch this way. See, it connects. So it's time to connect it. I'm halfway through the last row, and now I'm going to show you how to connect. So let's see, where are we? we are here. I started another row and then I realized that it might be long enough, so I'm taking this row off because I don't want that thick end on this row. If you can hear the noise from outside, they're fixing something with the street and it's very noisy. Okay, what we're gonna do is we have reached the end of the row and we are going to the other side. We are going to connect it with a slip stitch, and then we're gonna pretend this is all a new thing, so we're gonna chain 2, orient it in the direction you want it, and then just continue on the side of the body part. I'll crochet a bit and then I can show you what I mean. Here we go. Like that, on top of that. And then we're gonna just go all the way around and then switch on this point every time. It's really noisy, I really hope you can't hear that. And just continue until the sleeve is the length you like it. So I'm gonna do that and probably check in when the sleeve is long enough. Yeah, so that's probably gonna take me all day. It's fine, I like crochet, I can watch my videos all day. So check in with you later. I'm finally back. You don't know this, but it has been 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, since I last filmed. The sweater has long reached the point to where I can do the cuffs, but I had a lot of other things to do, and I was so tired. Every time I did have free time, I was so tired. Also, I had a market this weekend, and I've been sick at the same time. If you can hear my voice, I'm still not totally fixed, but I just want to finish this video. And this sweater has been waiting to be finished. I mean, it's there, and I just need to do the cuffs, and then I'm done. So, today I'm going to show you how I do the cuffs. Let's first start with tying the last collar on. I've reached the arm to the length I like it. So that's, you can see, yeah, just on my hand. I like them a bit slouchy, a bit big. I'm going to tie on new yarn because I finished with just this bit. Is it too dark in here? I don't care if it's too dark. I'm still not feeling quite alright, and it being dark helps. Also, it was my birthday yesterday. Yay! I'm 37 years old now. Can you believe it? I kind of want to know. Can you believe it? Okay. So, I ended on an open row. Now, we're gonna do a closed row, but a little different, because we're not gonna do a stitch in every hole and on top on every stitch. We're just gonna do a stitch in every hole, but with no chains in between. So that will decrease our round by half. I'm just gonna finish that and get back to you when I did that. Okay, I finished the round. As you can see, it's starting to pull it in, but I want it to be even smaller, even I think half the size of this. So I'm gonna do another row where I'm gonna skip one hole every time. So I'm just gonna, no chains in between, and just crochet into every other hole. And that'll decrease it even further. Again, I'll get back to you when I'm done. Here we go. This is about the size I like my cuff, and it will be even smaller once we start the ribbing. For the ribbing, I'm gonna pick another color, and I'm leaning towards purple. Might be a bit fluffy. Or maybe this blue, actually. Yeah, I think the blue, because the blue hasn't been here enough. And I think blue would also look nice on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna get the blue. Don't know where I went, because I haven't been crocheting on this for 2 weeks. Because I finished this in the evenings. Well, it was too dark, or when I was too sick to film. But it's been finished for 2 weeks. But then I had the market, and then I was sick, and then I had a different commission that had to be done in time. Okay, here it is. So what we're gonna do now is change colors in the traditional way. So have my loop, make a slip knot. It's a slip thing. Pull it through. And I'm gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the cuff will be 8 stitches high, because we're now gonna work into the chain. Let me just tie this up real quick. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, oh wait, I switched to a smaller hook size. I switched to 4. I was working with a 5. And I'm gonna drink my coffee before it gets cold. Mm. Now I'm just gonna work into the chain with single crochets. So 8 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I am going to slip stitch into the next chain space, or in the next stitch, I mean, on top of the next double crochet. Slip stitch, and then I'm gonna work into the single crochets I just made in the back loops only. And that will create the ribbing effect and make it a bit stretchy. There are a lot of people who do this with slip stitches, but I hate slip stitches, so I just do the single crochets. At the top, we chain 1 and turn and work back down with 8 single crochets. And when we get to the bottom, again, slip stitch in the top of the next double crochet, and then repeat that all the way around. When we get to the end, we slip stitch the 2 sides together, and that'll be a cuff. You can repeat this method on the neckline and on the bottom. On the bottom is just as straightforward. On the neckline, you have to pay a little bit more attention because there will be corners, and if you want, you need to make sure that sometimes you skip a stitch in the corner so the ribbing doesn't stand up straight, because that doesn't look as nice. But you can make it any length you like. You can make it 2 stitches, 8, 20, probably even more than that. And that's how we can create ribbing on the sleeve. So I'm gonna finish this and meet up with you for the final review, which will probably not be today. I hope I'll be able to take a little video tomorrow, but we'll see.